So season 2 of High Maintenance just wrapped up. I liked it a lot. I really liked season 1. I did a review of that. Season 2, it's more of the same, but I think that's a good thing. Now, quick summary of the show. The guy, he's our protagonist. He's called the Guy. He's a weed dealer in Brooklyn, and oftentimes the story doesn't follow him. We just get these little snapshots into the lives of all his different clients, all the different people he sells weed to, and how I distinguish this from other shows that are like mumblecore, fly on the wall, that really aren't trying to make a TV show with plot and characters and development. They're really just trying to show you what people's lives, how people are actually living, give you little glimpses into people's lives and different things that people go through. How I distinguish this show from other shows like Easy is another show that comes to mind. I don't know if it's because these are people who buy weed regularly, so you say they're a bit more open-minded, a bit stranger maybe even, or that it's set in Brooklyn. And again, the people, they're a bit more liberal, a bit more strange, a bit more eccentric. So a lot of the stories we see, they're out there. They're kind of off-the-wall characters, kind of larger than life, so we don't see the typical 9-to-5 jobs, the mortgages, sexual passion fading. Those are more easy, covers those topics, those more traditional milestone events. This is more kind of off the wall, colorful characters, and I think it's great to have both because it really gives you the full spectrum of the human experience. And with this almost anti-television show format where you don't have the traditional plot elements and the traditional narrative building, it can be a frustrating experience watching for sure, but also I think that if you stick with it and you just immerse yourself in these different settings, you get some really magical moments that again, if you're not paying attention, they might seem like nothing much happening at all. But if you really immerse yourself and really pay attention, you do see these subtle little nuances of human behavior and these little flavors of human interaction that the show is able to capture, and I think it does it so well. And you can interpret this lack of ambition to create these compelling narratives and to create these character arcs as just stoner underachievement and laziness, or you can interpret it as some kind of wisdom and insight, where if you think about taking psychedelics and then what would you want to watch on TV? Like what would you want to watch while you trip? Now, some people might think, well, you'd want to watch the most epic season finale you've ever watched with the most pathos and the most tragedy, and if you could just get in the right state of mind and the right mindset and then watch this epic tragedy on TV, suddenly all the truths of life would be revealed. But probably the much more realistic answer is you realize that whatever you watch, you're going to get to the same insights and you're going to get to the same place. So whether it's watching the most epic season finale of the greatest prestige TV show ever, or whether it's just watching a simple human interaction buzzing that you see in a grocery store, when you're lying in a hospital bed, we get that at one point in the season here. Any kind of complex human interaction that you see, it doesn't matter whether it's the epic scale and wars and famine and these kind of things, or whether it's just the most mundane interactions that people have. If you really do listen and you really are able to see, you're going to get to the same deep fundamental truths regardless of which one you watch. And in the season we get a whole episode devoted to our protagonist taking psychedelics and tripping, and when you see it on TV, it's so sensationalized all the time. You see the goofy, cartoonish visuals and these insane, almost dream sequence-like situations. And I love the realistic portrayal we get here, where he starts getting a little paranoid with reading things into what people are saying to him. He goes and buys a poncho, wanders around the park. He has some interactions with people. He sits down, observes, and people watches a bit. And someone asks him, what, you don't want a TV when he's sitting on the couch here? And he says, well, you are the TV, like life's the TV. And it's those things where when other people hear him, it just sounds like you've lost your mind, you're going insane. But when you're tripping, it seems like the most deep, fundamental truths about the universe. So I love the realistic portrayal we get of tripping. And I think that when you think of like what a stoner TV show is, I think this is one of the best stoner TV shows ever. When you think about things like Dude, Where's My Car? I don't think that's really like a stoner movie. I think that's corporate, ambitious executives using the icons and the imagery and the phrases of stoners and using it to make a profit and have a very, very wide appeal. If you want to truly capture the mindset, the ethics of someone who's a stoner, I think that this kind of a TV show, it captures it perfectly. And you see the trade-offs and the issues that people like this go through. So after he's coming down from his trip, he's sitting in a restaurant, and he bumps into someone from his college, an old friend. I don't know how close they were, and his friends there with his work friends are celebrating some big accomplishment, and his friend, you can tell he's a bit of a douche, a bit of a jerk. So you can tell that he doesn't want that life. He doesn't want to be one of those people at that table celebrating. He can't do that. But he doesn't want to be that 30-year-old guy who's a drug dealer and a slacker and going nowhere in life. And the contempt that all these people maybe should or shouldn't feel for him, and the contempt and how they look down on him, and how it's just hard, and you gotta decide, are you gonna live that life and continue to be looked down by people who don't understand and don't get it, or are you gonna go and be part of something that really deep down is not who you are? So the show tackles those issues. They bring back the millennial journalist. She's landed a job at Vice now, and poke a little more fun at her, and they poke fun at an even younger generation. So there's a young girl, she's just starting college, and you see her relationship with her mom, and it's just painful. Just the helicopter, overprotective, over-involved parent, no boundaries with between them at all, and it's just, that was the toughest thing to watch for me. I think probably the best episode was when they tackled technology, and they actually tackled it in a good way. First, kind of the cliched how algorithms and everyone's getting content curated to them, so we get in our polarized bubbles, and we stop really connecting with large other parts of the world that aren't part of our bubbles. But then it moved to some interesting issues where someone says something very controversial, and they say something they probably shouldn't say, and they start getting death threats, and even maybe their physical safety is threatened. But they also get a lot more followers. So you see someone who, they see the death threats, they post an apology, and they probably genuinely feel that they shouldn't have said that, but then they see how many followers they get. So we see how social media can be an addiction, where you'll even put your life on the line in order to get more followers. And then another part of the episode, someone wants to break the record for continuous dancing, and they're filming it, and they're dancing and dancing, getting more dehydrated, and we see just what they're putting their body through, how close they're pushing themselves to death, just to kind of put something on the internet, a video, and get followers. So you see how this kind of chasing internet fame can easily lead to just people doing crazier and crazier things, saying more and more outrageous things, putting themselves in danger in various ways, all to just get what? Just more hits, more followers. So on the video there, it's a great show. I wish more people watched it. Visually a stunning show. There's so much effort put in to the backdrops and the costume design, even minor characters who only pop up to have one minor interaction with one of our major characters. The effort they put into casting, getting someone with the perfect look, it's just a show, and it really helps rewatchability. I would easily put on, first of all, it's anthology, so each episode you can pick. You don't have to watch a whole season. You can just pick out one episode, and on any given episode, there's just so much visually happening on the screen to take in, so much great style, that easily something you could rewatch. So it's a great show, and I will rewatch, definitely.